Hello and welcome back to HiCode tutorial. In this video, we're going to take a look at Boolean variable widgets. This video is also the last one for the fundamentals of variables. Still, today's video is made up of 3 parts: overview, basic usage, properties, and actions. Starting with the overview. In HiCode, a Boolean variable widget corresponds to a Boolean data type in JavaScript. So what is a Boolean data type? In almost every programming language, there is a variable that takes one of 2 values, either yes or no, 1 or 0, or true or false. There is nothing else or nothing in between. Boolean variables are used for evaluating situations, and thus they are used everywhere. For example, I will need to check if the user has entered the correct password, and I will take different actions depending on whether the password is correct or wrong. We don't necessarily need to use a Boolean variable widget in every conditional statement. It can be replaced by other expressions. For example, everything with a value is true, while everything without one is false. 0 is false, whereas 1 is seen as true. An empty string is regarded as false. Undefined and null are both seen as false. Let's move on to the editor and see how we can use this Boolean variable widget. Still, add a page first, and you can find the Boolean variable below this string and this 0/1. First, look at this really simple property panel. We don't even need to type in a value for it. We can just switch on and off true and false with our mouse. Let's move on to see what its value looks like when this button is switched to on and off. Still, add a button, and I will use this button to log this value in console. I will need inspect and my console. It says the value of Boolean 1 is true. It is important that you notice here this true is regarded as a keyword true. It is not a string. For comparison, I can go back and add a string, also a number. I will write true for this string, and for number, of course, I can only give it some numbers. Log them all. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly in the video, but for the Boolean value and numbers, the values are in blue, whereas for string, there is no color for this string. These 2 true are completely different from each other. And now we can go back to get rid of this. And let's go on to see the actions that a Boolean value has. Add a button. The action list of a Boolean value is pretty straightforward. Let's try them out. So set value. As we see, the value switches between true and false. So let's try to set it to true. And notice here, this is also a keyword true. It turns into blue automatically. And I can copy paste this button. So this one will be set true, and this one will be set false. Change the event. Oops. True. Okay. Set value. Use this one to set it to false. I will log them. Use this button to set the value to false. It is also in blue, and this one set it to true. And we also have this toggle value, meaning to switch to false when it's true and switch to true when it is false. Also, I will print it. So you can see the status changes every time I click this button. And there are other methods to realize this toggle value effect. So add another button for us to manually toggle this value. Toggle 2. And we will use this set value action. As we have seen in the slides, true and false can be translated into 1 and 0. So that I can write this expression, 1 minus select from tree the Boolean value's value. So when a Boolean variable is true, 1 minus 1 equals to 0, then it is set to 0, false. And when it is originally false, 1 minus 0 equals to true. We can first set the value to true and use this toggle manually. Oh, I forgot to print it. Log the value to console. First set it to true and toggle false, true and false. Boolean values are usually used together with ternary operators, and if you are interested, there is also a video on ternary operators. And that is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching.